I think I just need to invest in a better sounding mic, at least for my own sake, because I don't know. I feel like if it's not something that I would like to listen to, then maybe not a lot of other people would like to listen to. But I also tend to be pretty hard on myself, so who's to say, really? But also, it's like quality over quantity kind of thing. Excuse me. Perhaps I'm a little bit EP today. I don't know. I'm being a little bit of a silly goose. Hello, Miss Girl. Miss Girl, do you have anything you would like to say? I held the mic up to her face, but she sniffed it. She didn't like meow or anything. So I don't know if she understands to meow into the mic. You know, maybe if I told her to, but or maybe she just doesn't care because she definitely understands what I'm saying. Like I say, boo, boo. Oh, never mind. What is that? Thank you. Mail time, mail time, mail time. Here's the mail, it never fails. It makes me wanna wag my tail. When it comes, I wanna wail. Mail. Did y'all watch Blue's Clues growing up? Because I did. Clearly, I just sang the mail time song after, like, I don't know how long. That thing is engraved in my memory. It's engraved in my brain. It'll be one of those things when we're all. When everyone is old and in a nursing home and they just start saying random things, that's gonna be one of them. If I get mail, you know. Mail time, mail time, mail time. I think that's funny. I'm gonna hold off on opening this mail right now because that's not. Excuse me. Why do I keep yawning? I wasn't yawning at all until now. What is my body trying to tell me? I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Well, that's too damn bad. You keep on digging. That's gonna be another thing. I mean, it's already a thing I say now. At work, especially. If you know, you know. But, like, I don't know. It's. I don't want to come on here and complain, to be honest. But it's one of those silly little things that helps to kind of lighten the mood just a little bit. Just to get a little laugh, a little giggle, a little chuckle, you know. It's like a bonding moment for me and my coworkers, anyway. But in my eyes, anyway, I don't know if that's how they feel, but it's okay. Anyway, not me overthinking everything. But hey, who would I be if I didn't overthink just a little bit? Like, you know, okay, so it kind of baffles me to think that there are people who don't overthink. Like, it has to be possible, right? Like anything is possible, really. So there has to be someone somewhere who just does things. They don't think about it too much. They go with their first instinct, and that's it. It's a wrap. But me as an overthinker, just going with my first initial thought, initial instinct, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. Perhaps I would be more successful, actually. I don't know because it's hard to say because it's not something that I've ever done. Maybe I should try it for a day or two, maybe even a week, to see if my initial instinct really is the better option to go with, and maybe that'll convince me to stop overthinking. I was gonna say something to think about, but that's like kind of, I want to say convoluted in itself. I don't know if convoluted is the right word to use, but that's my initial thought that Okay, so this is gonna be like a little test. Now I gotta con convoluted, adjective, extremely complex and difficult to follow. I don't think that's the word I was necessarily looking for, but I feel like it kind of makes sense. Like I said the word that initially came into my mind, talking about overthinking and going with my first initial instinct. And now I'm thinking about it and I'm confusing myself. Perhaps it is a little convoluted, but like, I don't, okay, so I'm gonna try to explain it a little bit before I completely lose my train of thought. But I feel like thinking about not thinking and just going with my original thought or the first thing that comes to mind, my initial instinct, is a little convoluted. I think I'm not sure if convoluted is the right word actually. I want to say hypocritical instead, but I don't think hypocritical is the right word. Actually, maybe it is. Let's like I know what it means to be a hypocrite, but I feel like looking at the definition will help settle things in my mind a little better. So, hypocritical, adjective, behaving in a way that suggests one has higher standards or more noble beliefs than is the case. No, no, because thinking about going with the initial instinct doesn't seem hypocritical. It seems more convoluted in my mind. But maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think it's difficult to understand, like thinking about the thinking. Actually, you know what? Maybe it's time to steer away from this because I'm getting a little tired of thinking about it already. Anyway, hello, and welcome to Kaylin's Corner. I'm your host, Kaylin, and this is my corner of the internet where I talk about anything and everything that comes to mind. Thank you for joining me, and I hope this finds you well. Okay, wait. Going back to what I said before the intro, I think, you know, it's funny that I say that I talk about anything and everything that comes to mind. It's true, yes, but I don't always talk about like the first thing that comes to mind. Sometimes there was a loud noise and it startled me. The train of thought has left the building. I don't know what I was going to say anymore. Sometimes I feel like I have a squirrel brain, but do squirrels really have that short of an attention span? Or is that just something that people say? And how do we really determine the attention span of a squirrel? Wait, squirrel has a definition? Stop playing with them. Well, I mean, it would make sense. It's a word, isn't it? An agile, tree dwelling rodent with a bushy tail, typically feeding on nuts and seeds. That's the noun definition. The verb definition is move in an inquisitive and restless manner. They were squirreling around in the woods in search of something. It makes sense because, squirrels move. They move around pretty fast. My dog is not I'm not sure if my dog isn't a fan of squirrels or if he's like so interested in them that he gets excited and wants to run towards them, because he gets excited when people come to the house, like I don't want to say he acts the same way towards people as he does towards squirrels, because I don't think that's necessarily true. But in my eyes, it comes off as a little bit more excitement. But then again, like it could also just be his instinct to go after this tiny little creature and try to kill it, eat it. I don't know what he would do if he was in the same room as a squirrel. Like he'd definitely charge at it, but for what? To sniff it? to attack it, I, the world may never know. Honestly, I'd rather not find out because if he does attack it, it would change my whole perspective on him. I'm sorry. What do you mean my my crusty white dog is it? Well, you know what? Not to put the crusty white dog stereotype on my dog, Sammy. I don't know if I've ever said his name on here. His name is Sammy, by the way. uh Not to place that stereotype on him because stereotypes are something people go by, but that doesn't mean that it's true for everyone that kind of fits the description, because nothing is true for everyone. Like, oh my goodness. Anyway, I don't want to say spiraling, but you know. But yeah, that would definitely make me look at my dog in a different light. Like my cat, I don't know how she would react to squirrels. She doesn't really like to be outside. I'm pretty sure my sister has tried to take her outside and walk her, but I think she was kind of afraid of it all. And honestly, I don't blame her because it's a little bit of a scary place out there when you're so tiny anyway. Because I feel like my cat is pretty small. Even though cats, no, it depends on the breed, of course. Some cats are huge. I would love a huge fluffy cat. However, the downside, all the fur that's everywhere. I'm wearing a black shirt right now, and I am covered in cat hair. Like, my dog doesn't really shed so much, and his hair kind of clumps up into hairballs, ironically enough. Not because he's licking himself, but like sometimes he'll like scratch at himself and he'll scratch off a hairball, which is a little bit concerning actually, now that I think about it, but it just happens. I don't know. But my cat, she sheds like no other. And there's really no running from it because her fur is black, orange, and white. So it shows up just about everywhere on anything. Some hairs are harder to see on some colors than others, but it's going to show up. You're wearing black, you're going to see the white fur. You're wearing white, you're going to see the black fur. And I do tend to see the orange, but the orange feels like more of a rarity. Like, I don't feel like I see the orange hairs as frequently as I do like the black or white hairs, but that's my only complaint about having pets, the fur that gets left everywhere. It kind of drives me crazy. I feel like there's no escaping it. She doesn't really like to be brushed either, and it's a bit frustrating because I would like to help her shed her fur a little bit because it's gonna come off anyway, like the undercoat and whatever. And same thing for my dog. He doesn't really like getting his hair cut. He puts up with it because he has to. He doesn't really have a choice. Uh but cats, they groom themselves, and for me it's more of like a cleanliness thing, I guess. But that's not the word that I was looking for, really. Like I don't know. I don't want there to be fur everywhere, but it's kind of inevitable because she's all over the place, and her fur is on her 24/7. It's gonna shed. What can you do? Just pet things. Anyway, how did I even start talking about this? I don't. Excuse me. Oh, the squirrel thing. Looking back at my phone. Uh I'm not sure how my cat would react to a squirrel. I feel like she'd get kind of defensive, although I have never seen her hiss. Oh, actually no. Sorry, I have seen her hiss. But that was when we first got her. She was scared. She was scared of my dog, and my dog was so curious about her. He was so excited. His tail was wagging. He was so happy. We had my cat on my bed, wrapped up in a blanket, and Sammy was sat right next to my bed, patiently looking up and like trying to see her. Like he knew someone was here, but he didn't know what. Like it was an unfamiliar scent. It was his first time meeting a cat. He'd never interacted with a cat before, as far as I know, anyway. And he was just really excited. He was crying a little bit because he really wanted to see her, but she was really scared. Her journey here was a little, I don't want to say treacherous because it wasn't a treacherous journey, I don't think. Just a drive here and back. But she was uncomfy. I don't think she enjoys being in the car. Really. It's not something that she's used to. So it makes sense that it's scary for her. Especially, she was a baby. She was a little baby. She was probably just inside for her whole life at that point, and then she got abducted, essentially. Not really abducted, like, but for her, in her eyes, in her cat brain, it's like, I'm being taken to some strange place. I don't know who you are. I don't know where I am. And so she was defensive. But I think the hiss was only little. Then she warmed up. And now she's a sassy little kitty cat. Yeah. Oh, I remember it like it was yesterday. But we've had her for over a year now. It's going to be 2. But this isn't until like I want to say the end of September, beginning of October. We got her in 2022. And she was a baby. She was only a couple weeks old at the time. Well, not a couple. She was a few weeks old, a couple months old at the time. But she was just a little baby. And I'm pretty sure I definitely have pictures and videos of her. I'm obsessed with my kitty cat, as we know. I feel like I talk about her every single episode, but how could I not? She's so freaking adorable. I can't get enough, like I said. Yeah, don't mind me. I'm trying to make conversation as I go through my gallery, trying to figure out when it was that we got Miss Girl, which is what I like to call her, if you didn't know. Goodness, where is it? Where is it? Where the fuck is it? Wait, is this the first? Hold on. Nope. Okay. Yep, it was literally the last day of September. Wait, no, actually, the second to last day of September. September 29th, 2022 is when we got her. She was so tiny. Her whiskers looked so long on her tiny little head. Aww. I'll have to. And then I have a picture of my dog Sammy perched up on my bed trying to look at her. This is. Oh. I feel like her face looked different when she was a baby in comparison to now. I mean, I know that she's grown, but like the shape of her face looks a little different. Not a little, it looks very different. To me, anyway. Maybe it's just the angle. I don't know. I'm not sure. But wow, what a time. Life was so different then. The only thing constant in this world, or in life in general, is change. Change is inevitable, so you kind of just have to go with the flow. That's what I tell myself, to help myself adapt to change a little better, because it can be very hard. That is for sure. Like adapting to change, especially when you're not necessarily ready for it, but it's hard to be ready for anything unless it's planned, like a vacation or a concert or I don't know, a birthday party, like events like that you can plan for, but life in general can be a little difficult to plan ahead for. Like you can have a general idea, but that doesn't mean that it's going to go that way, I'm having deja vu. I've said this before, probably on here as well, but I don't think it hurts to say it again because it's true. I think anyway. If you think otherwise, then by all means, I'd love to hear your thoughts. But I feel like change is inevitable and can be difficult to plan for. Or you can't plan for everything. You just gotta roll with the punches. Yes, yes, yes. But yeah, that's that. I'm feeling quite lazy at the moment. This weather is not doing me much justice right now. It's been cloudy, rainy, although it has washed away just about all the snow that there is outside, so that's cool. However, no, actually, I don't have anything to say and to counteract that point because the roads, oh my goodness, they were awful, especially like the day after all the ice. So when it snowed, when we got like a good chunk of snow sometime last week, I think. I don't know. Whenever it snowed, it warmed up and the snow turned to rain and the snow on the ground turned into slush and sleet and then it froze again overnight and just turned into ice everywhere. It was a skating rink. So scary, so dangerous. And me, as the passenger princess that I am, due to my little fear, was a little terrified. But I didn't let that stop me from doing what I had to do. Still took my dog on his walks and did whatever commuting I had to do. So yeah, all is well, but it's still scary weather to be outside now. And it makes me like, I know it's probably just because it's winter time, it's cold and dark for a majority of the day. It's like depressing, my goodness. But the sun is setting a little later every day and it brings back hope because that we're getting closer and closer to spring as every day passes by. And not that I want to jump to spring because, I don't want to skip over my day to day experiences in the winter and just in 2024 in general. However, I'm excited for spring to come. I'm a little over the winter, but the snow is really pretty to look at. I do want it to snow again, I will say, because I don't feel like I've taken good wintry pictures in the snow anyway. I have taken some, but not many. Not many that I really like anyway. Um but that's me. That's just me. I take a lot of pictures and I hardly ever post any, and that is something that I need to change for sure because there's so much art in my gallery that I'd like to share. It's just for me, I always have trouble starting things, like starting the podcast episodes or starting edits or posts or whatever. I I don't know what it is. Like once I'm in it, I'm in it. Like I gotta finish. But starting is the hardest part for me. But I also think it's probably me like overthinking about the quality of my art. Like this isn't really that good. No one's gonna like it type thing. Like I kind of talk myself down, talk myself out of it. And it's kind of saddening thinking about it in retrospect. But I'll change that. I really should start posting on my editing account again because it's oh wow, wait. Did Instagram get an update? Because what is going on here? Don't remember it looking like that when you switch between accounts. But anyway, I did make a post this year. I did post something this year. Just some flowers and a bouquet that I thought was pretty. My editing Instagram account is called Virtually Editing if you're interested. I do plan on posting more on there because like I said, I do take a lot of pictures I just don't post them as frequently as I should. As frequently as I feel like I should, but that's just that's just me. Just girly things. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway. Ugh. I don't know what's up with me and the yawning today, or like now that I'm recording this podcast episode, because I was fine earlier. I was just doing my thing, my little morning routine, and on my phone, not EP at all. I like to say EP instead of sleepy. Don't ask why. I don't know. I started saying it when I saw my cat sleeping, and now it's the word. It's in my vocabulary. You know, I've noticed that it always starts ironically, and then it legitimately gets added into my vocabulary. This is for slang terms in general, or I don't know, just random little words. Like I'll say it teasingly. I don't know, like kind of making fun of stuff, like just being silly. I don't know, and then it's in my everyday vocab. My everyday vocab. My brain is like, oh, you mean EP? No, sleepy. I'm at work. Why would you say EP? You're at work. Let's get it together. But anyway, I have a personality, so it's whatever. I'll say what I want. No shame in my game. Oh, jeez. There we go with the yawns again. I feel like my body's trying to signal something to me. And not that I'm sleepy, because I don't feel tired. I feel fine. My body's like, yawn, move on to the next topic. Actually, you know what? That's probably what it is. But what? What is the next topic? On to the next. What is next? Thank you, next. Thank you, next. Thank you, next. I'm so fucking grateful for my ex. Thank you, next, next. Thank you, next, next. Shout out to Ariana Grande for not only writing Thank You Next, I think I don't know. Shout out to Ariana Grande for Thank You Next and a lot of her music, because it has shaped me. We love to listen to her songs, and that's that on that. Point blank period. Also, Victorious. I somehow always forget that she was on Victorious. I feel like it was just such a different era, and the character that she played on there, maybe it wasn't so different to her personality. I don't know. That's something I'd have to think about and analyze a little more before I like make a firm statement on that. But I feel like, well, yeah, with like the high pitched voice, and I don't know. I kind of, it's something that slips my mind really. Like, oh yeah, she was on Victorious. But it's also like, well, duh, she was on Victorious. Like, how could you forget? Well, it's like, that feels like so long ago. You know what? This is making me feel a little old. And I'm not even old. I wouldn't consider myself old. But anyway, I saw this TikTok the other day that said Mean Girls came out 20 years ago. What do you mean it's been 20 years since Mean Girls came out? I'm only 23, so it came out when I was too young to understand it. And I think the first time that I watched it and like actually paid attention to it and understood what was going on in the movie, because sometimes I don't no, that wasn't one of the movies that I grew up watching. But one of the first times I watched it, I believe, was in high school. Believe it or not. And that just does not feel like that long ago, but granted, the movie was like, I was 3 when the movie came out. So from 3 to high school, that's a quite a bit of a gap. So it doesn't feel like that long ago. And also the same TikTok that I um was watching that mentioned, well, the whole premise was about, actually, sorry, I'm stumbling over my words a little bit. But basically, the premise of the TikTok was that this movie came out 20 years ago, but it doesn't feel like it came out 20 years ago. Like, the references, the style, the the writing, it feels still modern somehow, but a movie that does really feel old is like 17 Candles, I think was the movie that they referenced. Or is it 16 Candles? I don't know. 17 Candles? Is that? It's 16 Candles. I don't know where I got 17 from. I don't know where I got 17 from, but the movie that they were referencing in the TikTok is 16 Candles. It was, I think there were two 16. Oh no, the other movie that I was thinking of is 16 Wishes. I'm pretty sure, what's her name is in it? Debbie Ryan. Yes. The woman herself. 16 Wishes. Oh, that must have been a play on 16 Candles. Yeah, 16 Candles. I feel like I've seen the movie wait, hold on. Before I start saying stuff. Before I start I keep jumbling over my words. Yeah, before I start saying stuff, I had to look it up. I don't think I've seen this movie actually, but it is on Netflix, so perhaps. May 4th, 1984 was the release date. Oh yeah, back to what I was saying. Like, this movie is a movie that definitely feels dated. Like, even looking at it, looking at the like the cover photo and just scenes from the movie, it looks dated, but looking at scenes from Mean Girls, it doesn't feel as dated. Maybe it's because it's a movie that actually came out in my lifetime as opposed to before my existence, that it doesn't feel so old or dated, but it is what it is. It's Oh, I forgot that Mean Girls came out with a new movie. Wait a minute, hold on. Oh, it's a musical? Stop playing with Google says it's number one most searched musical program on streaming today. I haven't seen. Wait, when did this come out? What's the release date? Oh, she's in the movie theater. Oh, she came out like 2 weeks ago. Holy cow. I forgot that this was even a thing. Like, I don't really watch movies anymore. It's been a little bit since I've watched a movie on my own. I was gonna rewatch. Oh, damn. I even forget the movie that I referenced in the last episode. There was a movie that I was talking about in a previous episode that I was like, I'll probably watch it and then talk about it in a future episode, but I still haven't gotten to watching it. I don't know. I feel like I've been really distracted lately, just in general. And when I watch things, I like to sit down and watch them. Even if it's a show that I've already seen before, if I'm rewatching it, it's because I want to watch it. I want to pay attention to it. I'm not one of those people who can just have things on as background noise unless it's music or a podcast, because I don't know, music is something that I can like just jam to, and a podcast, I like to listen to comedy podcasts, which I think is kind of ironic because I don't think my this podcast is really all that funny. But anyway, that's just me, just Kaylin things. Anyway, um, I like to pay attention to the media that I consume. So when I do watch things or rewatch things, I like to give it my full attention. I don't know. It's just, I never really understood people who could have a show playing on something and then just step away and then walk back to where it's playing and keep watching it. Like, I don't know. It's like you just missed a whole chunk. Like, the scene is in there for a reason. You gotta watch it. I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. I don't know. I like to pay attention to things. There's so many. Excuse me. What the hell? Again, with the yawning. I am not even. What the fuck? Anyway, there's different kinds of people consuming media differently. See, there's no universal experience because even when watching shows and things, some people like to, like me, sit and pay attention to the movie. Other people will have it playing in the background and do other things in the meantime. And that's okay. I'm not here to judge, I'm just observing, really. Like, I'm pointing it out just because it's not something that I quite understand. So, but that's definitely because it's just not something that I do. But I suppose if I did, then I tried to like do that thing where I would have a show playing and I would do other things. Like I would play like a video game and have a show playing at the same time. But I can't focus on both at the same time as much as I want to. Like when I'm playing my game, I like to focus and play in my game. Or if I'm watching the movie, I like to focus and watch the movie. The only thing I think I could have playing in the background maybe are like old cartoons that I used to watch growing up because Hulu, I don't know if they still do because it's been a while since I've been on there. But they did have like a good variety of old Cartoon Network cartoons like Flapjack and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. And I don't know if they had the original Teen Titans on there. I don't think that was one that I watched, but I do remember my siblings watching Teen Titans Go. Nothing against it. It's just, I don't know. It's a little different than what I'm used to. And that's okay. I just, it's not something that I really went to watch. What else did they have on there? Adventure Time. You know, fun stuff that I used to watch. I think those shows I could watch because it's, well, even still, like, I like the little bit of nostalgia that I'd get watching it back as if it was the first time, even though it's not. But it's been so long that it feels like it could be the first time watching it again, you know? Yeah, but even still, like I said, I do like to pay attention to what I'm watching, so I'm not sure if that's really something that I would do. But yeah, I'm gonna link the TikTok below in the description in case you're interested in watching it. Hopefully it's still up. I don't know why it wouldn't be, but you know, the internet can be strange sometimes. I want to get back into my show watching era or like even in my anime watching era, but thinking about so I it's all or nothing with me, really. Like when it comes to just about everything, like either I'm all in or I'm all out. There's kind of no in between, and if there is an in between, it's like half-assed. Like, it's just not good. But anyway, I would binge shows. I don't know where I was going with this, but I just wanted to talk about Black Clover for a second because that's an anime that's the last anime that I remember, like full on binging and finishing whatever was up. I don't know if they released any more episodes. I kind of forgot about it, even though I have a Black Clover phone case, but that's besides the point. That's not what we're here to talk about. That's not what I'm here to talk about anyway. At the time, there were like 180 episodes released, and I think I watched it all in less than a month. And I watched it in sub. I didn't even watch it in dub. I was reading the caption. Wait, on TV soon, December 25th, 2023. Stop fucking playing with them. stop fucking playing with them. Now I feel like I have to check. But that, I don't know, there was just something about the show. It kind of felt a little like, thinking about it back now, it felt a little dragged out, like 5 episodes for the same fight kind of thing. But I think it was still really, really good. I loved it. I kind of want to rewatch it, but again, like I said, if I do rewatch it, I gotta put my full attention in it. And when I was binging Black Clover, I was getting like no sleep. Well, I was sleeping, but not as much as I should. And I was just in bed on my phone, binging, watching, back to back to back. I would skip the intro though, so um I wouldn't it wouldn't take me as long to finish, but still, like 180 episodes. I think they're like 25 to 30 minutes long. But again, if I skip the intro and outro, it's like 23 minutes probably, give or take. So it didn't really take me that long. I would fly through episodes. Ask me what happened in there though. I don't know. Just kidding. I I probably couldn't reiterate too much, but I got the basic premise in my head. Is basically never give up. That's like the message behind the madness of that show. I feel like just never give up, and the little things do add up. Like, so many things are intertwined and intermingled. It's kind of crazy. I love shows like that. I did also start watching One Piece, like, I think it was like this time last year. And oh, that was another show that I was binging though. I was doing probably like 100 episodes a month, and I made it to the 500s, and then I kind of just stopped. I don't know. I lost interest. But to be fair, I haven't watched anything else really since then. So, meh. Am I going to pick it up again? Perhaps eventually, someday. The show is kind of never ending, and I'm really, really far behind in like the storyline, given that I'm in the 500s and they're already, what is it, like 1,200 episodes right now for One Piece? I don't know. Let's have a look see. Why is One Piece so popular? Because it's good. Hello. It wouldn't be popular if it wasn't. Oh my god, 380,000 reviews on Crunchyroll. 4.9 stars. Stop looking playing with them. We love One Piece in this house, but not enough to start to. I don't know. It's one of those things. Like, I gotta get back into it, but I have to feel it. I don't really feel like it right now. Eventually, I'll get back on there. I don't know. I think my TikTok addiction is it's got me on a chokehold right now. It's a little. You know what? It's okay. We're not gonna talk about that right now. But how many? Okay, it's not telling me how many episodes. Let's see, episode count. Oh, it's not even 1,100 episodes. I'm saying not even, like that's not a lot. Google says there's 1,091 episodes currently. I don't know when this was published, but yeah, that's a little crazy. So if I had continued at the same rate that I was going, I definitely could have finished it last year, because I started in January and I was really clocking out 100 episodes a month. It was May and I was in the 500s. So I could have been caught up by now, but wasn't really feeling it. I started to do other things instead. Like watch TikToks. Like, what the fuck? But hey, it's alright. To each their own. Perhaps eventually I'll get back into it. That's not a show that I would be able to just have playing in the background and fucking flip through, because like I said, I like to pay attention when I watch things. It's kind of frustrating, but I like to put my focus on things. I forgot that they did like a live action movie. Holy cow. I wonder if people actually liked it though, because it feels so different. The casting and the writing for movies and shows really does wonders, truly. Like but it takes to watch like not the best show or movie to know what a good show or movie is, at least in my opinion. Like you never know how good you have it until it turns to shit. Because how do you know good without bad? And how do you know bad without good? Sometimes if you're just exposed to like the same thing over and over, it's just like normal. But then if you're exposed to something better, it's like, oh, how was I living like that for so long? Or if you were exposed to worse, it's like, oh, I'm so grateful for the life that I was living thus far. And I hope to never reach this point again, kind of thing. So I will say that the writing and the voice actors in One Piece are phenomenal. I love it. But the live action, like just this picture that I'm seeing, I don't know. Well, I can't judge the acting based on how they look. But for me, it's a little tough because me, it was The Fault in Our Stars that I said I was gonna rewatch. That's what I was talking about last time. The connection has finally clicked. Anyway, but this kind of goes back to when I was talking about The Fault in Our Stars in a previous episode. Uh, I read the book the week of the movie premiere, and then I went and I watched the movie, and the movie still moved me. It made me emotional, and I did enjoy it. However, there were parts that were missing, and it made me kind of sad. Like, I don't know. I couldn't tell you what parts were missing because it's been too long for me. However, it was just like a little bit disappointing. It was like, damn. But the movie was like 2 hours long still. And I was like, holy shit. And they still missed some stuff, which is kind of crazy, but you gotta work, excuse me, gotta work with the budget that you got. And a 2 hour movie back in like 2014 is a little crazy. I mean, they're 2 hour movies now, but those are 2 hour plus movies. Those are like Marvel movies and things. Even that is like a lot. But if you like it and you have the attention span for it, fucking go for it. I don't know. It's just not. It's just not for me, and that's okay. Perhaps one day I will become someone who can have that media playing in the background while doing other things, but and just not feel the need to fully pay attention to it. Because I think it's like a feeling that I have. Like I feel the need to put my entire attention on it as opposed to just letting it play in the background and kind of listen. Oh, but I don't know. Listening to a show versus watching it, I can still I can see it actually because my sisters or anyone will have anything playing in the background, and sometimes I will listen while I'm doing my own thing. It's not like I can't. I can do the listening for both things at the same time, but if I start listening hard enough, it's like, damn, well now I want to actually sit and watch it because it sounds funny. It must like what are the visuals like? And so I like to put my full focus on it, but yeah, I like to dedicate myself to things. Commitment issues? Don't have those. I'm afraid. And it kind of sucks because it almost makes me just like not fall for things no, yeah, like fall for things and stick with it. Like, oh, I like these shoes. I'm going to wear these shoes forever. Sorry, not sorry. Mm, oh, I like this brand, I'm gonna keep using this brand until they fuck up and then they start shitting down on their quality. Then that's when I'm like, all right, time for something new. Just girly things, or just Kaylin things, rather, because I don't know. There's no universal experience that everybody experiences the same thing. So, just Kaylin things, or also Kaylin things, because other people can experience the same thing as me, but they don't have to be me to experience it. Anyway, that's just. You know what else is just Kaylin things? Fucking thinking everything to the ground. Like any and every possible thought that you can have. That's me. Just thinking myself down to the ground in circles. I can talk in circles, I can think in circles. Just yeah. Anyway. I don't know. But I don't even have a TV in my room either to have something playing in the background. I feel like maybe if I did have a TV, or if I actually used my laptop a little more and had stuff playing on there, then it wouldn't be so bad. But meh, it's just not one of those things I necessarily care for. I got my phone. Now do what I want on there. Sometimes I'll do like a little split screen action and watch things and do other things on my phone, but I'm not too crazy about it. Not too crazy about it. How did I get here? Think myself in circles. Oh, but yeah, back to the One Piece live action thing. I was talking about how I was a little disappointed with The Fault in Our Stars and how they had skipped some scenes. Sometimes the casting can also be like a little bit of an issue. Like going from anime to live action, it's like, well, you got to get the right people to play these characters. And yes, I know that the characters are drawn and like made up essentially, but I feel like if they don't fit the character right, it throws the whole vibe off. So I don't know. Wait, how many One Piece episodes Netflix live action covers? Welcome to the One Piece podcast. Just kidding. No, I don't know. I don't really want to dig into it too much more. I feel like casting people to portray anime characters in real life can be a little difficult because you would want them to be able to well, first they gotta look the part, and then they gotta be able to act the part. And if they can't act the part, what good is it? Or if they don't look the part, what good is it? At least in my opinion, I don't know. I think I'm being a little too harsh though, but I'm just a girl. You don't have to listen to me. I'm just saying stuff now at this point. But One Piece is a really good show. Maybe I will get back into it. I don't know. I'm not gonna make any promises because I don't like when things feel forced. Because then if you force something on me, I'm not gonna want to do it, and it's not gonna come out good. Like, hello, I will do things as I please. Sometimes I do need to be forced to do things though, because I be a little bit lazy. But I feel like a lot of us have those moments though, no? Especially now. I don't know about you guys, but I've been feeling kind of burnt out just from life. There's so much to do, and it feels like there's no time to do it. But also, there's no time like the present, so you kind of got to get moving, you know? And I think it's that mindset, though, that really gets me, like, in angst, really, because, I don't know, maybe I just got to look at it a little differently. Like, yes, there's no time like the present, so kind of do what you want and live your life freely, but don't go too crazy and feel like you have to do everything all in the same day, all at once, you know? Make a task list, check things off one at a time. You can rank them by importance or by urgency. But that's really up to you. what you do and how you decide to do it. This is just a little talk therapy now at this point. But I don't know, maybe somebody else needs to hear this. I hope this helps. I think I'm going to wrap up today's episode here. So thank you for joining me. I hope this found you well. Until next time, bye.